Hi folks, and welcome to the Filmremark channel, and I'm in the misty autumn forests again. And today I want to talk about a knife I already showed you in one video, which I made ages ago. I think it was some 5 years or something, and which is one of my most used knives at the moment, or since 5 years. And I'm talking about this one. This is falling into the category of friction folders, aka couteau piémontais, couteau de la montagne, mountain man friction folder, mountain man folding knife, peasant's knife, peasant's folding knife, and knives like this were pretty common in use since the Hallstatt period, from 890 before Christ, but also throughout the medieval ages and the Roman Empire, actually. Actually, there are finds from Björkö in Sweden, in Birka graves, which are attributed to the so-called Viking culture. The handle on this one certainly was inspired by Viking finds, and also the motivation to make one like these came from watching the Witcher series, movie series, and because there was one knife portrayed like this in the series, and it was far bigger. But actually, I don't think a bigger knife of that configuration would make a lot of sense. So I broke it down in the dimensions to a more usable size, and what the genius in the design is are these little ears here, which serve as sort of a spring retention, so that you can really shake it and it won't come open. Also aiding in the retention is the fact that the slot in the handle, which I forged from titanium 6Al 4.5, and this is a busted to forge, so apologies if this isn't the cleanest accomplishment one could find. So the titanium lends itself to while being obviously colder than a wooden handle or a handle from a Carter or something. It warms up pretty fast because it has a conduction efficient coefficient that lends itself to getting pretty. It's pretty conductive. So is what I want to say. So the blade is forged from 01, aka 1.2842, which is selectively tempered. The temper includes the quench, includes the tempering of the pivot hole, and which is something I try to do always, because it reduces wear and tear, and you could more easily change the pivot or the axle. And as is, the blade is also akin to the Higonokami style of knives, to an extent that an acquaintance of mine, a really great Japanese blacksmith, whose name is Nobuya Hayashi. You can find him on Facebook. I don't know if he's got another way of reaching him. makes similar designs with a steel handle, and he calls those Yamawarashi. I hope I pronounced it right. If you speak Japanese, please correct me if I'm wrong, as usual. And this loosely translates to forest boy, and I really like that. It's so I don't want to call this a Yamawarashi design. It is a little bit similar to the knives that this master makes, and I'm not a master, and I'm not saying that I will be able to work in the quality of his work, because he's a really hard-working gentleman, and he's really passionate about his craft, and I just want to bow before him for his accomplishments, not because I want to claim that I'm in any way comparable. But on the other hand, I made this for myself, and I think this actually works. I use it in the kitchen all the time, and actually I prefer it to an Opinel. For whatever, maybe not necessarily because it is better than an Opinel. It is a little bit thicker in the spine, but it's still some 2.2 or 2.4 millimeters just, and high convex bevel to 0, and well, the clip point blade is pretty great for slate too, and actually, if you look at this, it doesn't move if you shake it, even when open. There's the walk is something like this. Actually, there is there's a section where it moves relatively freely, as it should be, and you need to really close it in order to. There's a high amount of friction involved, and the blade doesn't run on washers. I would, if I made another, I would definitely add washers, because that way you can have the best of both worlds, a rather smooth walk and a bit of retention. And well, the steel is really really resilient, and aged oak, what I'm processing here, really well. It has rained, but it is pretty aged, and so that's one of the reasons I really like this this knife. And it's pretty capable of applying a bit of force too. And well, also there are 3 parts, and well, if anything goes awry, I mean, this titanium is aerospace grade. Actually, obviously, I wouldn't put this into an airplane anymore, because I forged it with an open coal forge, and there might be a lot of hydrogen and other impurities worked into the material by my forging method, and also it is oxidized pretty much, but it's also, there won't be anything coming loose. Or actually, I open beer bottles with it constantly. And thing is, not that I would recommend opening beer bottles with it, but it's a tactical knife. It opens beer bottles. Just kidding, of course. I keep it in my pocket without a sheath, because, well, it's perfectly doable. It's not anything that I've, even when mountain biking, I haven't encountered any problems with it coming open. And I sometimes you need to adjust the walk a little bit, but that's done in no time by just tapping the axle pivot. By the way, I forged that from mild steel. This is and actually this is something, well, this I know it's rather unpopular to what I'm constantly saying, but it's, well, life's not just about battening. It does batten a little bit. Well, this wood isn't. This is some half rotten beech wood, so maybe that's not the biggest problem. I would not recommend it, and if it would break on me, well, that's bad luck, but I can make another one. You know, battening is not my favorite technique, but I'm also convinced that you can do it sensibly. So this is a rather convenient carry. And as for the Witcher series, it was, well, it was pretty much used in the movie. It was portrayed as something they used in a sort of a woodsman slash survival scenario, and I just wanted to know. My mind works that way, that I got an idea and then I try to prove or disprove it. I'm also glad if it doesn't work. And actually, the concept is really pretty suited for a scenario like this, because well, to be honest, it's I am complimented with a Swiss Army knife, of course, but it's a nice and light carry. It does what it should, and what more could you ask for? It is capable of doing rather robust work, but it's also capable of doing really delicate work. I have carved bone needles with it and stuff, and actually I'm currently, it's not quite easy for me to access my own smithy, but I really believe in the concept and would like to make to refine it a little bit, because, well, obviously that's the first try and first prototype, and there might be more potential in it. And so thing is, well, I think that experiment worked out, and I pretty much, by the way, I also use this this here for prodding for resin or something, in order not to get the blade all grimy, because on a friction folder, if you get your blade rather grimy, there's always a risk involved that you won't get it out anymore. Not with this one, because this is a metal handle, but with wooden handles, that might be a problem, that it simply gets stuck. And well, that said, hope you liked the knife, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. Enjoy the forest, even if it's misty, and I really hope to see you soon. Take care, bye.